Hi there. When I first started this channel, this new YouTube channel a few days ago, I immediately found myself writing out a list of 10 questions that just sort of popped up into my mind. And I've been using those questions to make these particular videos, numbering them and so forth. I've decided not to keep numbering. I think the title is more evocative than simply a number. But the seventh question that I asked, or I should say the seventh question which came through me to be asked, was this: when human beings incarnate as a human being for the first time, where were they before this? I'll repeat that. When human beings incarnate as a human being for the first time, where were they before this? And this is the response I got. Pardon me having to drop the eyes to look at the page as I read it, but here it is. You ask the most awkward of questions, Tom. You ask the most awkward of questions. They were part of the divine, of course, but their essence was stored away in dimensions which can only be alluded to. You see, Tom, all is vibration. Forms come out of vibration. Vibration contains energy and content. Some of that content is the God-given impulse to manifest. So many things manifest. At a particular level, everything is vibration. Yet within the infinite range of vibrations, there are patterns which can be discerned by beings living at various levels. Let me try to explain. Human beings vibrate at a certain level. The physical earth has a vibration of, it's said, 7.83 hertz. That is 7.83 vibrations per second. Humans vibrate at close to that rate. That is the average rate of the human body in total. Though it is made up of countless vibrations, it vibrates at its base rate at around 7.83 hertz. On the other hand, the consciousness held within that human body and around it, for your consciousness is also held within your auric field as well, is able to pick out, that is, sense, only a tiny fraction of the whole. We see between infrared and ultraviolet, for example. We hear through a narrow spectrum as well. We can hear sounds below a certain wavelength or above a certain wavelength. But to get back to your question, the Creator created consciousness within His self and His creations, though He is in all. God decided to experience Himself by this: creating lesser and greater beings, all being part of Himself, so that relativity could allow infinite consciousness levels to be experienced. So I'll repeat that last bit again. The Creator created consciousness within his self and his creations, though he is in all. God created to experience himself by this, creating lesser and greater beings, all being a part of himself, so that relativity allow infinite consciousness levels to be experienced. And it finishes off with, you see what I mean when I said at the outset that the question would be hard to answer. It will undoubtedly also be one of the most difficult to understand. Let us hope that it won't put too many off from listening to your YouTube channel. Well, I hope you got something out of that one, and I'll place it in due course.